I think the video cut off on me. I think it did. I don't think it even let me go. But yeah, back to what I said about it. Lead Farmer 73. I got into the planting deal, this planting thing, listening to him and looking him up on YouTube. Like I say, I ran across him on YouTube, and that's what it was. From that point on, I was on a mission to do that, even though, other people don't, they don't see the same vision that I see. But, I guess that's all about being different from others. And when you're in your own lane, then you ain't got to worry about being in nobody else's lane. So, I mean, if somebody wants to join you in your lane and ride the wave, then, you can do whatever you want to do. But I got my own lane and I'm staying in it. So, but what I want to do is show one of these deals what I learned from Lead Farmer 73. How to make, how you say, jungle juice, for lack of terms. Jungle juice. Not exactly jungle juice. I mean, you can make your own, the stuff that have you bouncing off the walls, and you get a little too much of that in you. You know what I mean? But and watching him do it, which I've already done it. I've already made the vinegar, and he showed the video that I watched. He showed how to make vinegar from fruit and whatever, and pretty much anything. I guess you can say pretty much anything that's fruit, and then anything else, I guess, that's high in starch, like potatoes, and it was something else too that he showed, but a bunch of different fruits you can do with that to make vinegar, and I'm pretty sure there's other things too, but I've only took a couple things that he showed, which, if you deal with that one thing, then you can do it with a whole bunch of other stuff that's pretty much in that category that you can use to make that sauce, for the lack of better words, trying to keep it as PG as possible. But I have a pineapple, and I want to show something else that I did. I just learned how. I also learned not to go off the top of it, but I learned how to regrow, vegetables or whatever. And even with this right here, I learned how to regrow a whole new deal from the stuff you buy at the store, like an onion. Hold on, I cut the part off the bottom part off the onion where the roots were, but they're cut off. When they got them in the store or whatever, they cut the roots, basically, what I'm saying, and keep them dry, which they have to keep them dry, and to, keep the root from growing as well. But I cut half of this out. Well, not even half, just a quarter of the onion out. Let me see. Okay, there we go. See that? This root's growing, man. Man, the root's growing all over again. So this here gonna make a whole nother onion. But we got the green tops though. The green tops are what you get after a while. When you got it in the ground. I mean, during the process of it growing, it's going to grow those green tops. And then I also learned that you can use these green tops to, in your food. So that's a good thing. That's a plus. I learned that. I never did know that until I was watching something the other day. And I forgot the name of the guy that showed me. But actually, Lev Farmer, he did some videos too that showed the same thing, which he did it with the pineapple. So I'm going to try it with the pineapple, and I'm going to try to do the same thing. But, I mean, all the whole process is simple. And, it's not hard at all. But, yeah, man, I did this, man. I ain't never think that you was actually able to do that. Now, growing up, I wasn't, people really didn't teach us to grow our own stuff, really. You know what I mean? They had certain things that they grew, but most of the stuff that we got that from the supermarket. Like, we got that from the grocery store. We didn't take that stuff and then grow it. We actually got it from the grocery store. I mean, that's just how we got it. We weren't even worried about growing it, which in the history of black folk, we grew all of our food. A lot of our food we grew. So this is a plus for me, and I really feel good about being able to do these things. So now I don't really have to go and buy anything. If I do go and buy some stuff from the supermarket, if I'm not able to grow it, then I'm just going to regrow off of scraps. Man, I cut a piece out of the onion, man, and the part where the root stuff, man, I just stuck it in the water. Took some water, just poured it in there. Man, the root started growing. Man, that's amazing, man. Never thought I'd be doing no stuff like this, man. Hey. I'm gonna show y'all one more thing. I need to change this water though. This right here. A head of lettuce. I cut the bottom off the head of the lettuce, which it was scrap. I would have threw that in my compost pile. That I just would have threw it in there. But can't you see where I cut the portion of the lettuce, and then I use the other lettuce, which I eat or whatever. I cut that off, and don't you know when I put this in some water, that head of lettuce that was just, I wasn't gonna do nothing with that. I was just gonna throw it in the compost pile. I put it in some water. It's not really growing some more lettuce, man. It's growing a whole nother head. That's amazing, man. It's amazing, man. Part of some new projects that I started. So there's other stuff at the supermarket, just like that I'm gonna go and buy, and I'm just gonna regrow. Eventually, I'm gonna have to put that in some soil, which I just went and bought some more soil, and all of the ingredients that go within the soil to make it, right for the plants. The way they be able to eat just like us. And we got to eat different stuff, to get vitamins and nutrients and all that there. So I went and bought all of that. So I'm gonna end up going mixing all of that together. Not right now though, but I'm doing this video or whatever. But yeah, not the. I was all the way off topic or whatever. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try this with this pineapple. I've already made it with apples. I'm in the process. Well, it's been. Let's see. How long has it been? How long has it been? 30th, the 30th of last month. That's when I did it with the apples or whatever. And I'm gonna do the same process with this pineapple. So, I mean, it's just crazy, man. Like I say, man, it's a lot of information out there about stuff like this, and a lot of people really don't know unless you research it. But if you don't have, the people leading you in the right direction, with stuff like this, then I mean, it's pretty much, pointless information out there. But I'm glad that, God put these different people in my midst of me going and looking for what I needed to find. And whatever I was looking for, I found it. Thank God for that. Just if I, put that brother with planting, lead formula 73. Check that brother out. But God would never put them in the midst of me going to look what I needed, what I was looking for. Man, I would have never been doing nothing like this. Like a lot of our people out here, and I'm not saying all of our people, but a lot of our people, we're so dependent on, people who don't, really have our best interests in life. I'm gonna try to keep this as pleasant as I can. I could make it a little more demeaning, but I like doing this stuff now. I learned something new in school. They wasn't teaching us to do nothing like this. For you to make, they wasn't teaching us to be self-sustaining. I say that, that's how it should have always been. We should have always been a self-sustaining people. But I mean, I understand during the process of life and what then happened to people over hundreds of years, especially black people. I understand that because we were once a self-sustaining people. And if it wasn't for us being self-sustaining, a lot of other people wouldn't be in the position that they're in and being self-sustaining. So that's good to know too. A very good thing. But doing this now, man, I don't want to do nothing else. Really. I can really care less about a lot of other stuff that doesn't even, if it not benefiting me or my family and, helping sustain us in the near future, man, I don't care about all of that. But as long as I'm doing this, I know that as long as I'm able to do this, I know that I won't have too much to worry about if the stuff hit the fan. I don't have too much to worry about because I'll be able to sustain myself and others if needed. At least help. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's just amazing though. I know I'm talking super long on this thing, but I mean, no kind of work. But I'm gonna get to it. I want to show everybody to see what I'm doing. So now, pineapple, which I was told that you can twist it or whatever, which I don't know about twisting it and this and that, so I'm just gonna But I don't know if I twist it, if I don't get enough of the top of it to where I can restart, then I mean I don't want to mess it up. So I'm just gonna cut a portion of it off, a quarter of it, just like I did with the onion, and I'm gonna put it in some water, and everything else, cut it up, dice it up, this and that, and then once I do that, this is the jar, 64 ounce jar. So cut all of that up and stick that in there. After, I put it in a blender. I don't know why that came out like that. I'm gonna put it in the blender or whatever. I'm gonna fill it up. Probably maybe a quarter of the way, just so it'll have a little liquid in there to help blend the pineapple. Then I'm gonna blend it up. Then we need the yeast, which I don't even know how many of these things are used. I really don't. So I'm just gonna, I'm not sure. Yeah, I might need 2 of these. You know what? No, I think I only need 1 of these. I'm gonna just use 1 for now because all of the sugar, and this is what I learned too, all of the sugar inside, the natural sugar inside of this, it's gonna need something to feed on in order for it to make, you know, that sauce. What's up? So this yeast is what's gonna be the food for the, I would say, I don't know, I might can say, I'm not sure, but the good bacteria or whatever. I didn't know at one point in time, I didn't know there was a such thing as good and bad bacteria. But when it comes to this, that sugar needs something, which I guess makes good bacteria. It needs something to feed on, and this yeast, active dry yeast, is what it needs in order for it to go through the process of making that sauce. You know what I'm saying? I might have to change my name on the YouTube thing after a while. But yeah, we're gonna do that, and gonna put this together. But I'm gonna go on here, man. I've been on for 18 minutes. Yeah, bro, I'm gonna have to cut this. This is gonna take forever to load. I'm gonna stop it right now, and then I'm gonna start over, and I'm just gonna run through the whole process of putting all of this together. Appreciate y'all for watching this.